All right, welcome to fuelforsuccess.com, where I talk about the stuff that gets you real success in the real world. My name is MD Ahmed, and in this episode today, we're going to talk about how strategic thinking can help students. Now, do you want to crack tough exams or do you want to crack your tough subjects? If you've answered yes, let's learn how to approach these subjects in a strategic manner. But then you see a lot of students, what they do is they have different types of approaches. They have this thinking called the passionate thinking. They're very passionate about it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to rock and all that, especially when the schools and colleges start. It reminds me of this movie called Vastav. Sanjay Dutt telling this to his parents, okay, forget all this. I'm going to crack my 10th and then 12th. I'm going to pass 12th like this and I'm going to crack my NEET and then get into medicine and become a doctor and all that. So it actually doesn't happen. In that movie, he becomes a gangster. That's a different thing. So just having that passion is not enough because you need to club passion with something. Now, what is that? I'll tell you, but the moment you club it, you blend it, you're bound to achieve success and you are bound to meet your star. So now there is another type of thinker who's called the frustrated thinker. Now, if you're not able to crack, you get all frustrated and you're like, oh my God, I can't do this. And then that frustration causes you to give up. Okay, you end up giving up or you end up burning yourself up, but then you don't see the results. All right, a frustrated thinker. And there is another motivated thinker. Now, motivation and passion are quite close. You get motivated, you're like, forget last year, you see this year, I'm going to rock and all that. But nothing actually happens because most of the students are not taught how to think strategically and approach their subjects in a strategic manner. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this episode today, where I'm going to talk to you about the 7 strategic thinking steps for students to crack tough exams or subjects. So are you ready? If you're ready, say yes, I'm ready. Let's get started. Step number 1. Find your driving force, the why, the force inside you that needs to drive you to take action. Because a lot of students, they don't have that reason to study that tough subject, difficult subject. They would have given it up, especially teenagers when they're in 10th or 11th, 12th, or maybe graduation or post-graduation. Somewhere they feel that, no, I don't want to do this. But then if your why is strong, even if you don't understand the subject, you go after it. If you've watched Will Smith's movie Pursuit of Happiness, where he studies how to trade and he studies more about the share bazaar and trading and all that. So he gives in everything because the why that he's got is very strong. He wants that independence. He wants to feel free. He wants to be someone important. He wants to get out of his pain. So you see, your why. What is your why? You need to ask. There are 2 types of whys. One is internal, one is external. Internal is you want to do that subject, you want to crack that exam because you want to feel confident about yourself. You want to do it for your self-respect, right? You want to do it because you want to be a dedicated individual. You want to do it because you're a person who goes after the things that are important to you. Though you don't like them, you still go ahead and do them because you got to do them. That's your internal why. And there is this external why. External why is where people do it for reasons outside them. For example, you want to do well so that you can gift your marks card with good marks, grades and all that to your parents. Yeah, scoring high grades is not all that important. It's not as important as the mastery of subjects. But then, just to give you an example, maybe you want to put a smile on your parents' face, or maybe there was a student who came to me who said, "Sir, I'm failing in math exam. I don't know what to do. My boards. I've failed in my pre-boards. Now I have these boards, and I want to achieve all this." And then what happened was I helped him. I taught him my system, the advanced system, and all that. A student who was literally failing in his math exam throughout his schooling, he goes ahead and starts scoring 100 on 100 in math, and he also cracked IIT JEE. And then after he cracked all this, I met him. I asked him what was his why, what was his driving force. So he tells me, "Sir, there was this topper in my class. Now she never even used to look at me. It was as though nobody. And everybody who did well in the class, they did not even know my name. I was more like that 800 car on the streets. I love this car, but then this is just an example. So I had become like that car that nobody even looks at. It's there, but it is still not there. But then when a Lamborghini, when a Ferrari passes, we all turn our heads and we're like, wow, what a car. And we also want our friends to check the car out. So he felt as though he's not there in the class. So he wanted to do something really extraordinary because his why was very strong. Though it was external, somewhere maybe he did it. His internal reason was that self-respect. So you need to find the why because that is where it starts. You need to have a very strong why before you approach that subject. And once you find your why, go to a quiet place, sit and ask yourself. Maybe walk around or sit where nobody disturbs you. Find that why. Why should I do this? What are my internal reasons? What are my external reasons? And then you approach the subject. When you approach the subject, the entire subject or a particular concept or a particular chapter, now I want you to break that chapter, that subject down into small chunks. All right, small chunks. When you look at something very large, you feel overwhelmed. So instead, what you do is you break it down and look at that small chunk, and you need to say to yourself, my job right now is to only do this chunk, this small chunk. That's all. The rest is later. But right now, this is what I'm focusing on. So you break the concepts into chunks. And the third step is how. How do you learn that chunk? Now you see there are different ways you learn. You write and learn. You just keep repeating to yourself and learn. These are very ineffective ways of learning, or you try to understand, but here you're not able to understand. How do you do that? So you ask yourself, there are different resources. So now you need to become aware of those resources. And step 4, you need to take inventory of those resources. You need to write it down. For example, resources can be a teacher who can teach it to you, your Verma sir, or maybe your Preeti ma'am. It can be anyone. So that particular person who can help you learn. It can be your uncle, it can be your aunt, it can be your parent, it can be your brother, it can be your sister, it can be your friend or anybody. That person is a resource for you. So what are the resources? And then what are the techniques that you can apply? My Super Kid Smart Team, basic, advanced level. There are so many techniques that would help you master your subjects that my students, like I said, have cracked some of the toughest exams. So take inventory of the resources. That's exactly what I told another friend, another student of mine. She said, sir, I've cracked NEET. I'll be a doctor, but then it's a management seat. And how much is the fees? The fees is like you can buy a single bedroom house in Bangalore from a top builder or a 2-bedroom flat from a local builder. That was the amount the college was expecting, and her father was ready. But I said, see, that's a big amount. If you let me, I can help you. But then I will have to trust you that you will use my advanced methods. So she said, sir, you can trust me. But then I wanted something from her. I wanted her to take a year's break and apply all my techniques and ideas. So she did that for a year. She applied the advanced methods. And after a year, she calls me and she says, sir, I did it. I pulled it off. I got a government seat. So we need to take an inventory. Who's going to help us? Is it a person? Do I have extra books on this? Do I have extra material on this? Do I have online sessions? Have I got people available online to help me understand this concept? So what are the resources that I have? Do I have a good place to sit? Even a chair that you sit on is a resource. So you will take an inventory, write the resources down, and then you go to the next step. That's step number 5. You plan and stick to the plan. Planning here is, say, for example, the planning of how you are going to make use of the resources that you have. It's like, okay, Monday, 5 o'clock, I'm going to approach the subject 5 to 7, and these are the resources that I'm going to use. I'm going to go to Verma sir, and he's going to teach this to me. And on Wednesday, I'm going to use this online class. And on Saturday, I'm going to use these extra books to help me understand these concepts, this particular chunk. So you plan it and then stick to the plan. Sticking to the plan is very important. So you sit, you write it down, make the plan and stick to the plan. And then number 6, go to the right people or stick on to online support in books. Now you see, you have the plan. So when it's 5 o'clock Monday, you're supposed to meet Verma sir. So you're supposed to go to the right person. If Verma sir is the right person, your teacher, you have to go to that right person. Usually students don't do that. They go to wrong people. People who are in the same boat. They go to their friends. They're like, bro, dude, I have this problem with this subject. I don't know what to do. And your friend is like, even I'm in the same boat. It's a very difficult subject. We are not going to pass anyways. So forget even trying. So instead, let's play this game or let's watch these episodes. And I'm going to order some samosas or some chips. We're going to have some good time, man. Forget it. This is giving a lot of stress. Let's chill out. So there, you're not going to the right people, right resources. Don't do that to yourself. You need to refrain. You need to stop yourself from engaging in people who are wrong for you. That means to say people who are not good with the subject and cannot help you. So you need to go to the right people. Now if you say, sir, there are no right people. I look at my left, I look at my right, there are no right people. I look up, I look down, I look front, I look back, no right people. So what do? So you stick on to online support and books. Right? Thankfully, we live in an era where at a click of a button, you have access to people who can help you. Even you're watching this at a click of a button, isn't it? You can always get in touch with me as well. I don't teach you subjects. I don't teach you math, science, or accounts and all that. What I do is I teach you how to learn any subject and become a deep learner, master any subject. That's what I teach. And yes, it definitely helps. So number 7 is keep going. This is the last step. Listen very carefully. Keep going back to step 1 and follow all the steps till you finish the job. So now, let's say you understand that particular chunk of the sub-concept. And once you have finished understanding, then you go back again. Find your why, and then you go to the next chunk and you see the resources. Maybe this time you don't need that teacher, maybe somebody's help, and then you plan, and then you stick on to the plan and go to the right people according to the plan, or stick on to the online support, and then beat the chunk. And then again go to the next chunk, the why. So you will keep going till you finish the job, till you master your subject. So this is strategic thinking. This is not just getting pumped up and doing things. So go ahead, make use of strategic thinking. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Make sure you do that because it encourages me to make more such videos. And yes, follow me on Insta. We're creating new content for Insta viewers. And be a part of a masterclass if you haven't already. Man, you're missing something very important for you, for your own achievement. Make use of the masterclass and all the courses that I have to offer. They will absolutely change your life when you learn and apply what I have to teach. And then, of course, you got to follow this for 21 days. Make sure you follow this for 21 days. And after 21 days, please let me know how this helped you in the comment section, but not before 21 days. 21 days, follow this and see how it's going to turn things for you in a positive manner. So be a strategic thinker. Go get your star. I'm sure you will get your star. All the best. I will see you in another episode. This is fuelforsuccess.com, and also subscribe to our podcast. This is MD Ahmed signing off. I'll catch you soon.